Hi folks, Marvin Forte here, Director of KFNW and your host of the KFNW Current. Thanks so much for joining me tonight. Episode 13 should be a good one for you. Tonight I'm going to have on a couple of guests, TJ Osojnicki and Michael Mumford, both from southern Idaho, and we're going to go over Lake Cascade. That is our event coming up a little later this month. Looking forward to getting out there and checking out that lake. It'll be my first time there. I don't have a ton of news for you tonight. Let's see, what do I have? I guess the only other thing I want to talk about a little bit before we get started is the Oregon Rockfish Classic. Our friend Jim Davis, tournament director for KFNW, is the tournament director for the Oregon Rockfish Classic, and it's coming up very soon. It's coming up on July 11th. Let me go to their website and show you what we're working with. There's the ORC website. And if you look here, there's a Register Now button. You can click on that and register. If you go up to the top and click on Schedule and Rules, here's the full schedule and all the details. Jim did a live last night, so I'd recommend you go and find that. He went over a bunch of the details for this. There's a bit of an issue with camping there, something the county has instituted. So if you talk to Jim about that, he's got some suggestions on what you can do to get around some of the challenges they've run into. But I was there last year. I didn't fish the event, but I was there helping out, and I helped Jim out with the website and everything on it as well. It's a pretty cool event. They caught a ton of rockfish. Right there out of Depot Bay is the headquarters for it. Here's some photos from a few years ago. Gives you an idea what to expect. There was a whale hanging out last year. People got to see a whale while they were out there fishing for rockfish. And it's this year, you're going to be allowed to keep some of the fish. Last year, they didn't really allow you to keep them unless you caught and released your fish first, and then you could keep additional fish. But Jim's kind of changed that this year. If you read the rules, it goes over all those details with you. But obviously, rockfish is delicious, great to keep and take home as well. A really fun event, and it's all for charity. All the proceeds for it go to Neighbors for Kids. That's the charity that Jim selected. There's also some really cool merch. If we go to the merch page, there's a sticker, there's a t-shirt, and there's a hoodie, which I designed and helped out Jim to get those going. If you want to get those items, you need to get on there and either register and add those on to your registration, or just go there and order the merch. You don't have to attend to get the merch. You can certainly order merch even if you're not going, and we'll get it to you. But if you're going and if you're fishing, absolutely sign up and get the merch. The hoodies especially were really popular last year. They sold out almost immediately. So if you don't get a pre-order in for these by June 26th, which is coming up real soon, you may miss out on them completely. He doesn't have a lot of extras. He's not going to be able to print a whole lot of extras in all the different sizes. So if you want to be sure you can get one and get one in your size, be sure and go on there and pre-order it. Great stuff. Prices on that. The shirt is $25. The hoodie, I got to get the hoodie back on here. That's my fault. We had to take it off last year because we couldn't take pre-orders anymore on it. But I don't remember how much the hoodies are. I'll get that added, though. I'll get that added tonight for anybody that wants to get some hoodies ordered. But yeah, I highly recommend the event, especially if you're a saltwater kayak angler. And this is a qualifier for U.S. Angling, Kayak Fishing, USA Kayak Fishing Team. So you get to go and fish in the nationals if you do well enough in this event. And I think, where is that? It's on the registration page. There's some details about that. Here's the prices for the hoodies. $40 for the hoodies, unless it's like a triple X or something, then it's 45. Yeah, I wanted to tell you what the qualifiers are for it, because that's one of the cool things about it. Here it is. So the top 10 anglers will qualify for a spot at Nationals for the USA Saltwater Kayak Fishing Team in either 2026 or 2027 competition season. Not both years, but either one of those years you can qualify. You qualified for, and you can participate. Great organization. Well-run event. And Depot Bay is cool. If you haven't been down there, it's a beautiful area. Really gorgeous scenery. Great place to bring the family and hang out at the beach and go out and catch some rockfish while you're there. All right, with that, let me bring on my guests, TJ and Mike. There you guys are. Great.
Hello, hello.
How you guys doing tonight?
Doing well.
Never had a bad day in my life, Marvin. How you doing?
Yeah.
I'm doing okay.
TJ and his good attitude.
Yeah, I'm doing all right. It's going pretty well. I've been kind of crazy busy with work stuff, but hey, that pays the bills. I'm happy about that. So let's talk about Lake Cascade a little bit. You guys in the off season, a lot of people don't know this, but in the off season, I reached out to you guys, and you gave me a little help on where we should probably do a tour event this year, because we were definitely planning on doing one up in Coeur d'Alene. Actually, we were planning it at Coeur d'Alene, but then because of permitting, we had to move that to Pend Oreille, but that's kind of the same area and fantastic place to fish from everything I've heard. And so we wanted to do one in Southern, and of course we did CJ Strike last year, so we like to mix it up if we can. And you guys have a lot of lakes that are big enough, or not a lot, but a few lakes that are big enough to support us. We have a tough time here in Oregon. There's just not a lot of lakes that we can handle the number of people we're getting at tour events now. When we have anywhere from 50 to 100 people, usually it's parking is the biggest problem we run into with some of our Oregon spots. There's just not enough places to park and launch. Of course, you were both just at 10 Mile. We did that event, and 10 Mile's great. It's got plenty of parking. It's got that huge parking lot for the main ramp, and then there's a few other ramps people could use too, so it's not a problem. There's a bunch of, I don't know if you guys got to explore some of the other lakes down there in that part of Oregon, but it's full of great bass lakes. There's a ton of great bass lakes right around there within 30 minutes of 10 Mile.
Yeah, unfortunately, we were on a tight schedule to get down.
I know
to
you were headed down to Clear Lake right after, so I know it was a little...
no time to explore.
Even driving to there, though, I felt like, when me and my wife were driving, I was constantly like pointing at lakes, and I was like, I bet there's that.
There are.
I was getting real tired of me talking about all the different, but like they all looked good, and a lot, a bunch of them looked just like 10 Mile.
Yeah,
and so
Siltcoos and Taconich are very much like 10 Mile. They fish very similarly to 10 Mile. And Taconich is way bigger than 10 Mile. The lake is huge. It's one of the bigger lakes in Oregon, but it's got two little launches, and you could park maybe 30 people. Yeah, we used to do events there. Siltcoos and Taconich we do every year. One of them at least, or 10 Mile, one of those three, because they're all within 15 minutes of each other or so. And they all fish great. But yeah, we got to figure something out if we want to try and do a tour event down there. I don't think we can do it at those other lakes. So anyway, I reached out during the off season to you guys and talked about southern part of Idaho. And we kind of landed on Lake Cascade, which you guys hadn't fished a lot from what I understand from you. But the last time we did an event there, we did an IKBF Tour event back in 24. And TJ, you won it. And Mike, you took third. So maybe you didn't know it all that well, but you figured it out pretty quick.
Yeah, I want to start off by saying I think I'm glad we're doing Pend Oreille this year instead of Coeur d'Alene.
Oh, really?
because
Agreed.
I don't think
Yeah.
anyone has any experience up there. So it's
It's
not going to be
you make a
anybody's
good point.
home turf for anybody.
It's less home turf for the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene people. It's not far
Right.
from them, but they've got so much great water right around them. You know,
Yeah.
when you live right in or around Coeur d'Alene or Spokane, you've got a ton of great fisheries. And so why would you drive an hour to Ponderay to do that? You might not. So yeah, that's
Right.
a good point.
Corey's catching 22s in his backyard. Why would he drive over the border?
He does though. He gets around. That guy gets around. Yeah, you know, that's one thing I love that we're going to talk about the 50-50 a little bit too tonight and the season long. And that's one thing I love that I'm seeing on there this year, last year, and this year both is, man, people are fishing all over the place and they're not just going to their honey holes that they know and fishing there. They're going around and fishing different places all the time, which is great. I love to see it. We didn't see that as much when we were doing the monthlies. People really would hone in on their honey holes because it was a monthly, I think is why. With the season long, you got time to go around to other places and try different stuff out, which is cool.
Yeah. I think Mike and I
Yeah, I'm pretty
both
excited.
go
What
for
are you
it.
saying, DJ? Oh.
Go for it.
I'm pretty like one of the like funnest parts about fishing the tournaments. One of the reasons I got into it in the first place was fishing new lakes. Like it kind of it pushes you to go fish new stuff. I think before KFNW, I just fished the same 3 lakes over and over again.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I did. And so I do like 10 Mile. You know, it's obviously I'm not going to drive down to 10 Mile to
No.
fish that lake unless you know, for the tournaments. But same thing with Ponderay. Like I probably wouldn't fish that lake if it wasn't for the tournament. So I've already been to you know, most of the lakes over there, and it's gonna be fun to fish something new. I'm excited.
Yeah, I feel exactly the same way when I first moved to Oregon. That's why I joined OKBF. Aaron Roberts was running it back then. And I joined, just like you said, so I could meet other anglers in the area and so I could go fish some cool lakes. And of course, I hadn't fished any of them here in Oregon yet. So everything was new to me that year. And then when we spread out into Washington and Idaho, yeah, same thing. I got to fish all these places that I'd never touched before. I've fished quite a few Idaho fisheries now and a lot of Washington fisheries. It's cool, and California for that matter.
Yeah, like even like the Delta. Like I think about that all the time. Like I would have never went to the Delta. And that trip, I went down there for 7 days for the year that we did the West Coast there.
Yeah.
And it was some of the most fun I ever had. It was a humbling lake.
was a lot of fun.
It beat the heck out of me.
Oh yeah.
But it was fun to fish something new and like with tides. And I was like, yeah, I love it. It's cool being able to do that. And like, it's definitely a good excuse to travel and try different water. So.
It's true. The tidal stuff is very different. We've done some tidal events here in Oregon, the Multnomah Channel and the lower Umpqua. When you were going down to 10 Mile, you might have gone by the Umpqua River there. And we did an event there 2 years ago on the lower Umpqua. Super tidal because it's close to the ocean there. So it really raises and lowers. Like it was tough to get the kayaks out of the water when we got off because the tide was low, but it changed in the middle of the day too. So everything changes where the fish are, the way they're facing. It just all goes topsy-turvy, which is kind of challenging.
It's challenging, especially if you've never done it before. Like that's how the Delta was. I remember fishing some stuff and I was like, you know, pinning things and like, okay, I like this, I like that. And then, you know, at the end of the day, going back through, I went to look at him. It's like, it's not in the water anymore. So like, all right, like you really have to have, it's really, really complicated. It's like fishing's hard enough. Adding, you know, structure that's there and then gone is hard.
Absolutely. I hear you. Well, let me switch screens and let's look at the Cascade tournament detail page, and we'll just go over some of the details on it. Let me do this, and let me get your heads on here too. Let's see, I can do that. One of you should be appearing, and there's the other. Great, we're all three there. Super. So yeah, here's the Lake Cascade tournament detail page. We've got all the event details here. As always, we've got kind of a blurb about the lake here. This is a lot of water.
It's
You
been
see
long.
that? 25,000 acres of water and 69 miles of shoreline that we're fishing, which is nuts.
It's a lot, and there's a lot of different structure. I think that when people that have never fished it before get out there, they're going to see that there's about 50 different ways you could probably catch them, which makes it kind of confusing because there's a lot going on.
I'd say that's challenging right there for sure. There's TJ.
There it is.
So yeah, when we did it last time in 24, there were 24 anglers, 51 fish. I remember it was a tough day.
Yeah, let me just say
Brutal.
that like I'm way more excited this year than I was in 24.
Well, that was August too.
Yeah, so it's weather-wise, it's only going to be like a high of 80 when we go
Nice.
there
Nice.
next weekend. And fishing is a little better right now. I reached out to one of the guys that fished the boat tournament, I think a weekend ago or 2 weekends ago, and he said it took 17 and a half to win. So that's a day of 3.5 pounders. So I think
I'll take
fishing
that.
is going to be a little better this year.
That's
So,
great news. That's
Yeah.
what we were hoping for with doing it, picking a good time of year to go to southern Idaho instead of going there in August would be tough. Of course, that's why we're not doing anything in August. August stinks everywhere.
So hard.
That's why we're only doing a set of opens and the Flying Kayak Open in August. And, people can then travel down to West Coast Championship, do Clear Lake. You guys can make your second trip to Clear Lake in the same year. Come on.
I'm going to convince TJ. TJ thinks he's not going. TJ's going. I'm going to figure out a way to get him there. So I'll keep working him. Don't worry, Marvin.
I'm still on the fence. I really want to. I think I will go down. I did go last year, and I think we talked about that a little bit last week. I did bring Margaret down with me, and she loved it when we were on the water.
Yeah.
Clear Lake's
Yep.
it's a fun place to be on the water.
My wife's staying home this time.
I don't blame her. I don't blame her. Unless you're going to get out on the water and have fun on the water, it's not really a place it's not a destination. But yeah, the Delta was fun. I had a lot of fun on the Delta as well. And just like you, I probably wouldn't have gotten a chance to fish it.
I'd like to go back. at some
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, me too. I just got to figure out how to stop working and be able to just travel around and fish all the time. So we're in the middle of the off limits right now. We've got a couple more days of off limits on Cascade, and then pre-fishing starts. Official practice period starts Saturday, June 20th. So get ready. Registration deadline is this Friday. So you need to sign up. If you're going to go to the event, you need to sign up by this Friday. Otherwise, after that, it's subject to approval. Although we'll be able to get some people in, and you got to pay a $10 late fee if you sign up after Friday. So be sure and sign up by Friday. And, I ran into something with somebody else for 10 Mile where they were like, oh, well, I didn't get my paycheck until, Wednesday after the sign up deadline or something. And what I told them, and I'll tell that to everybody, if you know there's something like that you're definitely going, but there's a hard stop on like when you're going to get the money or something like that, just let me know. And
Yeah, reach out.
yeah, and what you can do is you can actually sign up but not pay, and then after you get your paycheck or whatever, you can then sign in and do it. But just reach out to me and I'll get you in, and I'll get you in without the late fee. If you tell me before the deadline, hey, I'm signing up, I just need a few days, not a problem. I can take care of you on that. It's really just a way that we try and make sure people get signed up on time and get signed up early. We kind of need to know how many people are coming so we can bring the right stuff and have the right amount of everything, especially like the gear drawing and stuff. We'll adjust that depending on how many people are signed up.
Yeah, what are we sitting at right now? Do you know off the top of your head?
Yeah, let's take a look. I've got it right here. Or I can have it right here. This is the 50-50, but we can go to Cascade. We're at 19. Last I saw was 17. So yeah, we've had a couple people sign up since I saw it. But we're at 19 right now. What's that?
Me and Mike still have to sign up, so 21.
So there's 21 at least, and I know there's a lot of people that don't sign up till the last minute. So I feel like we're probably going to hit 40. I
Good.
hope so.
Come on, guys.
I hope we'll hit 40.
Me and Mike are putting on the miles over here. Y'all can come to Idaho.
Yeah. If we could come down to 10 mile.
Amen.
Now.
Amen.
Yeah.
I tell you, it's we had 24 last time. Of course, that was pretty much all Idaho people, but
Right.
we're generally, even for the events that are not as big in numbers, we're still getting that 40 to 50 range. So I'll be happy if we can hit 40 or 50.
40 would be great. Me
I
and
hope
Mike
we
were
will.
thinking-
And I've seen some Idaho people signed up. Let's call them out here. Let's see who we've got signed up. Matt Burdick signed up. Richard Childs. Dan Drake, that's an Idaho guy. He signed up. He reached out to me before he did. The Duggars are signed up. I'm signed up. Leo Harris from Oregon. Brandon, Andrew, all Oregon. Andrew Larson from Oregon. Greg Marshall, he's in Oregon now. Troy Miller, I saw, I signed up, which is great. He hasn't done an event this year. It's been a little challenge for him to travel to some of these this year, but last year he fished like every event, which was great. Michael Mitchell, Larry Parker, Grant Parker, all Oregon folks. Isaiah Ponce, I don't know him. Do you guys know him?
No.
I think that's a new name that I don't know. Shalesh from Oregon and Scott Sampson, who did come down to 10 Mile and Potholes. So, yeah, it's a good crowd we've got, and I'm sure we will get quite a few more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Rick's fishing it and stuff, so.
Rick Thanstrom? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know there's some people that will sign up with it being closer. You know,
I talked to Rick.
Ozzy came to Potholes because it's not that far for you guys, Potholes. It's like 5 hours or something.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think a few people like that, I'm sure will sign up.
Yeah.
No, I know for sure Rick's coming because he's got the campsite and everything.
Oh,
So
great.
he must
Great.
still need to sign up.
Yeah, we've got an Airbnb that we're staying in. Okay, let's see. So, all these details are pretty much the same as we always do. We're doing Kelly's Whitewater Park for the meeting and for the awards. That's where we've done it pretty much every time we've ever fished a KFNW or IKBF event at Cascade. We've used Kelly's Whitewater. They've got a big giant parking lot and a lot of space, so that seems to work. And there it is. And I think that's where we usually have done it, is in that kind of grassy area there by the trees.
Yep.
But we'll adjust as we get there, whatever works. So some pre-event details we probably should go over. I will do a video here in the next few days and go over some of the details about this, but we can touch on some of it now too. Let's see which ones of these are important. So the Friday meeting, everybody has to come. That is mandatory attendance. The only exception is like if you can't come, if you can't get out of work or something like that, then what you need to do is you need to arrange to have somebody bring your bump board for you to be inspected and get the sticker on it. Or, if you don't want to send your board to somebody, if they've got a spare board, they can bring their spare and get it inspected and get the sticker on it, and then they can loan it to you for the event, and you can use it in the event. That's totally fine as well. But you need to get that approved. You need to reach out to me if you can't come. And if you're like a newbie, I'm probably going to say no. You have to come. Because there's just too much stuff that we have to go over with people, and we got to get paperwork from everybody. If you're going to be a little late, we can try to figure that out. You could drive to our Airbnb or something and drop it off. I'm going to be on kind of the north end of the lake, but yeah, if you can't make it or you think you're going to be a little bit late, reach out to me and we'll figure something out on that. Let's see. Obviously, like we were just saying, you need to bring your bump board and it needs to be clean and dry. Take the other stickers off if you have a chance, the other stickers that we've put on for other tour events. let's see. Let's take a look at the map. I just this is a little tricky, maneuvering all these windows. But let's zoom in a little on our boundaries. We've got a bunch of launches all over this lake that you can use. You can see a list of the launches here. And we can zoom in and see where all those are. There are some boundaries up on the northern end of the lake. Especially like this. You need to pay attention to this because it's a little tricky. Whoops. My mouse is going crazy here. You really need to pay attention to this one because it's not like a bridge or something. You're going to have to know where you are. You do have to kind of, this is like a dike over here or something, as I recall.
So there's nothing visual for that boundary?
There really isn't much. There's like a little piece that sticks out. I could pull up, let me pull up Google Maps, the regular Google Maps, and we can take a look at that. It's probably a good idea anyway. So here it is. So yeah, what it is if you go through this, turn the dashed line off. If you end up going through this, then this is your visual reminder. There's
it's like a road bed.
There's wires. Yeah, it's like an old road bed. And there's cables running across. So that's it. You can't go past that if you're up in this arm. And if you had to go through here, you know you're getting close. So just be cautious if you're doing that. If you catch any fish out there, you're not going to get DQ'd, but the fish aren't going to count. The fish will get denied. And then, you know, I've got these marked here. Same thing. If we look at the river up there, or not that one. Where is it? Looking at there. Oh yeah, that's around the island. Oh, that's this. Yeah. I mean, really, as far as you can go up into these creeks or rivers, as long as it's navigable and you're not portaging and you can paddle or pedal or motor up there, that's all kind of in bounds. I did kind of draw some lines there. But I think that those lines are beyond where you'd be able to go. So basically, as far as you can go up there. There is an overpass at this one up here, up in Donnelly. So there is a road here, so you can't go past that. And I think that's on the picture that I've got on the top of the detail page, actually. And then same thing over here. You can go up into this, but don't go past Roseberry, which I don't think it doesn't look like you'd be able to anyway. It looks pretty tiny up there. So those are really, the north end is the only place you need to be worried much about boundaries. Anything on the south end, as far as you can go up into creeks and stuff, the only exception would be here at the dam. You know, you're not going to be able to go past the dam. But I went ahead and just went around it because I wasn't sure exactly where you'd be able to go. But yeah, anywhere down there. That reminds me, there was supposed to be another event going on, like a kids event. Somebody turned their sound on. But I reached out to them like 3 times and didn't hear back. I looked. I don't think it's happening anymore. I couldn't find anything about it, so I'm not sure that there is anything else going on. But if there is, as always, just be careful if you see people in bass boats participating in a tournament. Have your head on a swivel. Be careful. So while we're on the map, before we get into all that stuff, I'm looking for waypoints, Lure selections.
Yeah, I mean TJ won,
Yeah,
so I would,
Mike actually launched, right? If you scroll.
No, I would. Yeah, let me show you where the winning fish are here, real quick. TJ, I'll give you all the juicy info.
What I can tell you from having judged a bunch of events here is there are fish all over this lake. It's not like there aren't fish. I have seen people do really well on this lake in pretty much every part of it.
And you'll randomly catch both species. Like
that was one of my questions.
Smallies all day, and I came across like one or two largemouth. So it's hard to like pinpoint them unless like I would imagine up in the creek arms, like if you're fishing all the docks, you'll probably run into more largies up there. But you just can't tell really what you're fishing for.
Really just habitat, I guess. It sounds like. Let's look at that. I'm glad you brought that up. That was on my list of things to ask. Let's take a look at 2024. And you can see right here, TJ had you had one largemouth and 4 smallmouth in your bag. Mike, you had all smallmouth. Kyle Mallett had all largemouth. So that's interesting. And Jeremy Miller had 2 largemouth.
Second place had 4 largemouth as well.
Yeah, Luke had mostly large. He was the opposite of you.
Right.
He had 4 largemouth, and his biggest fish was a smallmouth, which is kind of crazy, but cool.
I think what you're probably going to see is, my guess, my prediction would be like your top 3 is probably pretty mixed. I think probably like TJ on this one, you'll have a couple largemouth and then some smallmouth. I think it'll probably be a mixed bag is what it's going to take.
Sure.
To get it done. And yeah, you can't really count on the largemouth there to necessarily be bigger. I mean, these are cold.
Sure.
It's a cold water
fishery
lake.
Yeah.
I mean, it stays cold for longer, and so smallmouth tend to thrive, I think, a little bit better. So you'll see, like, I mean, you can compete with largemouth bags pretty easily, I think, on the lake. So it could go either way, but I bet mixed bag is going to be what you're going to want.
Just so we don't scare people into thinking 51 fish for 25 anglers, an average of 2 fish per angler. So here's an event we did back in 2021. We had 19 anglers, 128 fish. So big difference.
Yeah.
And again, we're seeing a lot of smallmouth. Victor Jaime won it. What happened to Victor? Victor's like vanished off the face of the earth. Haven't heard anything from him. Such a nice guy. But yeah, he had all smallmouth. Dan Zimmershed had a couple of largemouth and a bunch of smallmouth. Zach Velarde, all smallmouth. Brian Trice, rest in peace, Brian, had all smallmouth. Brad Andrews had all smallmouth. It was mostly a smallmouth affair, but a few largemouth mixed in here and there.
And there's an opportunity for a good bag. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of like 17s, a couple 19s.
Yes.
Like they're in there.
Yes.
For sure.
I mean, the bags weren't huge at this event, but like you said, there's 17s, 18s, 19s. They're around.
Right.
And, we're all fishing the same water, so
Yep.
it doesn't matter. Even if it was 13s, you're all competing on the same fish. And then we did one back in, what year was this one? 2020, the year before. Only had 9 anglers that year. This is early on. This is early IKBF stuff. And yeah, I remember this one. Joe Jones won it. Kyle took second. Smaller fish that year for sure. But yeah, that's kind of cool to see. So yeah, what do you think people can expect? Because this is the cool thing is we're going to have a lot of people up there who've never fished Cascade. A lot of there were a bunch of Oregon people on the leaderboard, and most or all of them have not fished Cascade. So what can we expect? What kind of fishery is it? Obviously very different than 10 Mile.
I will say just one tidbit of information. I think me and Mike looked the other day. The water is sitting, by the time we fish it, it'll probably be between like 63 and 68, 69.
That's great.
So plan accordingly on what you want to do. We don't know what phase those fish are going to be in, but
Yeah, I think if you're fishing this for the first time, I would kind of like, I mean, really like bring the arsenal. It's one of those
Sure.
lakes where, you know, it's not like some lakes where if you go to maybe you'll fishing smallmouth only or largemouth only, or fishing rock or fishing trees. But with this one, I would bring the whole tackle box, because if you want to fish grass, you can go ahead and fish grass, docks.
Yeah.
There's plenty of rock on the lake, and so if that's your thing, where you want to fish maybe some offshore rock, you could do that. And so really like that, it's kind of fun in that sense, where whatever your style of fishing is, you could probably do it here, just because it's basically, it has it all. Like it's got stumps and logs, so if you want to do that kind of deal. But yeah, I would definitely come prepared for kind of anything.
Okay.
You could probably fish whatever you like to fish. You know how some guys like to throw grass, like to fish grass, or they like to fish rock. Like
It's fun fishing places like that where you can kind of pick the type of fishing you like, instead of finding out there's only one thing that's really working and you're going to have to fish it regardless of whether it's your sweet spot or not.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, Marvin, like they're everywhere.
Yeah, and it is pretty overwhelming your first time, especially if you're on the main lake. You'll go through stretches of shoreline where it is all the same. At least that's how it was for me. And
Sure.
There's a lot of searching that needs to be done. But it's like a big bowl with not a lot of transition in some spots. So
That's what I've heard for sure.
Yeah.
A lot of sameness. Yeah. Well, which is, it's like a different puzzle, right? That's
Right.
the cool thing about tournament fishing, is every puzzle is different. And 10 Mile is kind of the opposite. 10 Mile, the thing is, like, you look out there and everything looks great. You like, there's tons of wood laydowns, there's tons of pads, there's tons of grass. It's like, okay, which ones should I throw at? And it's just
That's honestly
it's kind of the
worse.
opposite problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I'd
that's
I'd rather search through like a lake like this with nothing and find one piece of structure
That stands
than
out.
fish a lake that has structure every.
Because you know it's going to have a fish on it then, right?
Right.
You know it is. Yeah.
No, yeah, I mean 10 miles. Like I had at least probably 60 offshore logs pinned. It's like which one? I don't know which one's.
You can't fish them all. There's no way.
No.
Well, that's fun. That'll be interesting for people exploring it. So we're going to be in there late June. You said water temp. Water temp sounds great. Like it'll be really good. Obviously, we got to be post spawn by now, even up there.
Yeah, I think it's
That's
mostly
the
going
one
to be post
thing
spawn.
where. What's that?
I was just saying, I think more than likely, like smallmouth, like this is my guess, and I'm not that smart, so take it for what you will. But my guess is the smallmouth are definitely post spawn, and
Sure.
then largemouth, I think it's going to be. You might find some beds.
Okay.
You might.
That's what we're talking about.
Well, even
We're cheaper.
10 Mile, I was surprised. There were a lot of fish that were like, maybe they were post spawn, but barely post spawn. They still had bloody
Yeah.
tails, and yeah. Okay, well that'll be fun if there's some bed fishing. What's the water clarity like there?
It's clean. It's real
Pretty clear. Okay.
Yeah.
Is really,
I mean, you at least the area like I fish. I don't know about you, TJ, but my area that I fished the last time I was there, it was like, I mean, it was pretty dang clean. I'd say like 15-foot visibility, probably.
Oh
Like that.
wow, that's way clearer than almost anything in Oregon. Washington has a lot of clear lakes, but Oregon not as much.
Was it pretty clear for you too?
all I remember is the smoke from the fires. I don't remember the water there.
Yeah, that
Let's
was
hope there's none of
brutal.
that. Man.
100 degrees and smoke.
No, you were fishing and you looked up on the hill there, and there was flames. Like you could, the fire was right there, and
Oh, jeez. I've seen that in Clear
helicopter
Lake.
stuff would come in.
The helicopters were flying over the lake, picking water up.
Yeah,
The planes.
Yeah, that sounds like Clear Lake for sure. I've
Yeah.
run into that a few times down there. But we did an event here too one time that was so smoky. We weren't close to it, but it was just smoke had blown in, and it was tough.
Mhm.
So,
It was pretty brutal.
any advice for somebody who's never been there? Like any one piece of advice that they should know going in?
You want to go, TJ?
I was trying to think of something while you went.
Okay,
But I think you're doing the same as well.
My advice, I feel like, is like if you want to catch fish, just like anywhere there's smallmouth, rock. I mean, it's the same deal. Like you find the rock, you'll find some smallmouth, and there's a lot of rock on this lake, and you'll kind of see when you get there. I'm not gonna give up too much information, but when you get there and you start looking around, there's certain parts of the lake that have more rock than others, and so
I will say this because it's on the internet. Because I looked it up as well. People can look it up. The west side of the lake tends to hold more rock than the east side.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, yeah, like my suggestion, like, you crankbaits, that kind of thing. I mean, obviously post spawn when they're munching up, I think you could take advantage of that rock. And that would be like the most surefire way. Not to say that's the way to win it, because you're not going to catch probably too many largemouth doing that. But you catch fish that way. And maybe you can win it that way, because you could definitely win it with a smallmouth bag. I think that's what kind of like anything can happen on this lake. So you could be fishing some rock with a crankbait and catch 4 smallmouth and then catch a 20-inch largemouth.
Well, and you can cover water with that way too, which is handy. Having a power bait like that where you can really spread yourself out is good,
Yeah. I think there's more like visual structure though on the east side. There's more points. There's road beds. There's a lot more visual things on the right side.
Let's go in here and look at that. Yeah, so here's what you're saying. If we look at the two sides, yeah, there's a lot more cuts over here that go in, and a little bit more points and stuff like you're saying. Yeah.
Like, yeah, there's...
But there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot looking at it. It's like, oh, okay, well, that looks like that would be interesting.
Right.
And there's launches near most of it. That's the cool thing. Like a lot of times we look at these lakes and you're like, well, that's where I'd like to fish, but it's 5 miles from the launch. The only thing that's really far from any launches is right in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that it is nice. You basically get anywhere you want from ramps. You could relaunch on this lake relatively easily.
Yeah.
Like if you wanted to fish 2 different ramps, like they're also big. Most of them are big nice ramps. Like that is one thing that you are going to see is I was really impressed with the quality of ramps. Like a lot of them you could do like 2 to 4 boats at the same time with good parking. A lot of it is paid, so definitely bring a little bit of cash.
That's news to me. Thankfully, you just brought that up because I was about to say most of them aren't paid. So.
Yeah, thank you for saying that, because that's a good thing for me to point out in the video too. Is be sure and bring. I mean, it's safe to bring cash, I guess, but nowadays a lot of the machines will take cards. But just check that out.
Yeah, if I remember right, a couple of the ramps that I went to last time, it was like $10, and then a bunch of them are free. I mean, a few of them are free too. Like you just need like a parks pass. But I do remember a couple of them were like $10. So it's always a good idea to bring whatever, $20, $30 in $5 bills.
Yes.
For the ramps.
Yeah. Absolutely. So here's the launches. You were just mentioning that, and yeah, they're almost all of these are improved launches. French Creek is semi-improved. The rest are all paved. That's when we're saying improved. That's what we're talking about. Is it's paved. It's like no problem with the trailer.
Yeah, I looked at French Creek, the not improved one last year, and half of it was underwater. The the unimproved one I was not able to launch out of.
Okay. Yeah, and that's true. I mean, you never know. I can't do that much research on these to know every launch how it
Right.
is. But
Yeah. That's
be
on
sure
you
and check it
to
out in
drive
pre-fishing.
around and check out these ramps.
Yeah.
That's on you.
Yeah, I try and do that when I have the time. When I'm competing, I try to make sure and look around and see what my options are as far as launches. I have done it where, I couldn't get there until like Friday night or something, and I just go out there and wing it in the morning. And I remember one time Kegan and I did that at a lake here that we hadn't fished, and he and I got in late Friday, and we got up in the morning and just went out and boom, and we were first and second. It was crazy.
Dang, that's cool. Yeah, I think the ramps are definitely good.
I think that's about it on this
You're good,
page. What's that? What are you guys joking about?
No, we both started talking at the same time. Then we just looked at each other to see who was going to continue.
Oh, I see. Let me switch.
And now
back to
neither
the
of
other,
us are going to talk.
The other view.
I don't even know what I was saying. Lost
Me
it.
neither.
That was most of the questions that I had about Cascade. We haven't had a lot of comments here tonight. Fishing rod engineer. Hey guys. There's one.
It finally feels good to have a home body of water for a tournament and not have to drive 5+ hours.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, you had CJ last year. You didn't have to drive much for that one.
Right.
But yeah, you've got this one. Speaking of that, what we're looking at, and we're working on schedules right now. And so what we're looking at doing is kind of rotating it around a little bit every year, like we have over the past number of years. And with doing 5 events plus the Classic, like what we did this year is we've only got one Oregon Tour event this year. But then the Classic is also in Oregon. And so that's sort of what we'll do. And we'll do it in a round-robin way. And next year, if we keep on with this same sort of cycle that we've been doing, the Classic would go back to Idaho. So what we would probably do is do the Classic somewhere in Idaho. I don't know where yet. And then the other Idaho Tour event would be a 2-day. We'd probably do a 2-day. So we didn't do that this year, but I'm kind of wishing we had. I talked to Brandon about it. I'm sure you 3 guys aren't wishing we had, but we should have made 10 Mile a 2-day. That would have been cool if 10 Mile had been a 2-day event instead of a 1-day event, since it was the only Oregon Tour event, and it's kind of a destination. So if we're going to make people go a little further to like a really cool fishing destination, we'll make it a 2-day event. That makes it a little more worthwhile to drive there and stay a little longer and fish a little longer. And so I think we'll probably do that going forward.
Agreed. The state that has the one tour event, that should be a 2-day event at a destination.
Exactly. Yeah. That's kind of what we realized. We kind of missed the boat on with 10 Mile this year. We should have done it, and we will next year. We'll do a 2-day somewhere in Idaho, and we'll do the Classic somewhere in Idaho, and then we'll have 2 tour events in Washington and 2 tour events in Oregon. We kind of like that. The 5 has worked out well. We still have to see what happens in August, but I think it's going to be really good for August. I think having those opens in August and having the Flying Kayak Open come back for those people that want to get out and fly fish for bass, I think that's going to be cool. And those events, with those 4 events in the 4 corners of our 3 states, you should be able to get to one of those, unless you're really out somewhere remote. You should be able to get to one of those in a couple hours or something. So it's not too bad. Like for you guys, we're doing, where are we going for your?
Hagerman.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Hagerman, yeah.
Which always does well.
Favorite place. It's one of my favorite places.
Yeah.
It's just a beautiful place. It's like, I just like to hang out there. It's the sturgeon's good.
Pretty. Yeah.
I know last tournament we had there, I took a couple other guys sturgeon fishing before, the day before the tournament, which is fun. But it's a beautiful lake, and I'm excited for it.
Well,
It's one of my
the other
favorite
cool
things.
thing about those opens, like we're doing ours at Crane Prairie, which we haven't fished in a few years because we kind of outgrew it. But that's the beauty of these opens too, is we can go back to some of these smaller bodies of water that maybe we
Yeah.
can't do anymore. So the opens gives us another chance to fish at some of these really cool places that are great places to fish, but we could never do a tour event there because there are just too many people. So yeah, we're excited about that. We've got that going on at a few of them. Newman Lake is, in that Spokane area is the one we're doing for Eastern Washington, and then Lake Sammamish, which is big enough, but we've never done a tour event there. We've never done any event there, so that'll be fun to have an event on it.
Yeah.
Boat traffic may be a bit of a challenge there, but we'll see. And then
Yeah.
and then Crane, and then the Flying Kayak Open is the next day, and it's only about 15 minutes from Crane Prairie, so you can double dip for that. Not double dip, but back to back 2 days of fishing. So that'll be fun. Well, I think that's about it on Cascade. Let's switch gears a little here and talk about the season long. Why not?
And sorry for the viewers tonight. There will be no karaoke. So
What? I loved in that picture that both of you guys were airborne.
right.
If you look at your feet, both of your feet are completely off the floor at the same
Such a cool
time.
picture.
It was great.
Marvin, TJ is a bad friend. I'll tell you this right now. TJ is a bad friend. So a couple days before this, I'm telling TJ, I almost didn't want to go to the bar because I didn't want to do karaoke. Did not want to do karaoke. So I'm talking to TJ. I'm like, I don't want to do it. So I'm probably just not going to go. TJ is like, well, no, like I got your back. Like when people try to peer pressure you, I'll help you out. I'm not going to make you do karaoke. And so I put all my faith into my best friend in this whole world, TJ.
Oh,
I'm like,
man.
he's my boy. He's got my back. So I'm like, fine, I'll go. He signs us up. All the people I trust, he signs us up. And then I'm like, yeah, we're there. And I can't be the guy to walk out. So it is what it is. We did karaoke, but don't trust TJ for nothing.
You can thank me for second place. I'll keep telling you that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Fishing Rod said, what about doing a tournament on Lake Washington? We've considered Lake Washington. It's been a challenge for doing a tour event, but for this summer open, it could be good, or even the spring open, maybe. It's a possibility. The only problem, Washington's big enough, Lake Washington, but the fish tend to be in certain spots. And so what you would end up with is a crowd of people around a few spots where most of the fish would be. But I'll talk to the Washington guys about that, and it's certainly on our list. It's under consideration always. It's not a new lake to us. We certainly know about it, so we'll consider it. And like I said, we are working on the schedule now. We're working on a tentative schedule and backups on that. And for one, we're going to see which of those potential areas can give us some kind of support. If they can give us a place where we can set up, especially an indoor space where we can do the awards and the meeting and everything, if they can line us up with that, if they can line us up with block rates on lodging and other perks and things like that, then some of those places will get a little bit more favoritism from us to go there. But we can't get that everywhere, and there's some places we want to go that we're not going to get any of that kind of support. They're just too small a town or too small a county. So those will be in the running still. But if we can get some support from a few of those places, we'll be happy to do it. So yeah, let's switch gears here. We'll go back to the web view. Take a look at the season long. Why not? So let's go over our top 10 here real quick. We've got Corey Carlisle with 218.5 inches. He was the winner last year, so he's the reigning champ in the 50-50 season long. And those are some crazy sick numbers in his bag.
This list just makes me depressed every time I open this list.
I hear
I'm
you.
good for like 2 20-plusers a year, and that's it.
Yep, and he's got 10 in both species. Brandon Huaz and sitting in second with 212 inches. Joff Linson's in third with 206.50. Michael Jarvis with 202.25. And fifth is Pat Moore. He kind of snuck out of nowhere. He kind of had a late start, but man, he's catching up. Pat's got 198.5. Richard Childs is in sixth with 197. Ryan Flory is tied with Rich with 197. Jacob Jarvis, Michael Jarvis's son, is at 196, and he just hasn't been fishing as much this year. That's the only reason he's down at 196. He'd probably be up above Michael if he was fishing more, but he's gotten a little busy. Life's gotten a little busy. Our friend Garrett Harrison from Northern Idaho's got 194.25, and then Andrew Larson from Oregon's got 192.75. Our two biggest fish so far, or I guess I should say three biggest fish, Corey and Brandon are tied for the biggest largemouth, with each one with a 22 3/4 inch largemouth, which is a huge fish for the Northwest. That's a big largemouth up here. And then Corey's got the biggest smallmouth so far, a 22 1/4. So Brandon and Corey are tied. Ty will go for the largemouth. Ty will go to the angler who caught theirs first. I'm not going to say who that is. They probably know. Those two guys probably know which one it is because they'll know.
Yeah, someone filled their bag in like March.
No, most of these fish, because I judged a bunch of these just today, quite a few of these fish that had come in later. There's a lot of fish in here from May, a ton of fish from May.
Right.
So yeah, they're still putting on the board. Speaking of Brandon, he says, "Can I add my fish from Clear Lake?" No, you cannot. Those will get denied.
Mike, you want to add our fish from Clear Lake?
No, I don't think.
You're okay.
I'm gonna do that.
You want to add our 14 inchers?
Yeah, my 16s. Let's go.
Nice. All right. Well, let me switch back to our Talking Heads view. We're kind of coming to the end of this. So coming up, obviously Lake Cascade we've been talking about. That's Tour Event 3. So we're like halfway through the season. This is Hump Day. This is Hump Event. Once we get over this one, we're on the downside. I will say, especially since we are getting to Tour Event 3, I am doing testing right now for Tourney X for his new AOI feature. So I haven't posted anything about AOI yet because I've been kind of waiting. Dwayne said he's going to have this new feature out soon. I can do it if I need to, old school, and I probably will anyway, so we can compare and make sure everything's exactly the same, or close enough to the same. But I looked at it today. It's pretty cool. I think it's going to be neat, and it'll be cool to be able to have kind of real-time AOI. You'll know right after the event. I mean, he's saying like you could tell during the event, but I don't know how that would work.
Is it like a leaderboard? Like how
yeah.
the other leaderboards
Yeah, it'll have, it's got kind of a bubble for the way it looks right now. This could change, but it's got a bubble for the top 3 AOI contenders. And I can specify which events count for AOI and which don't, and how many we throw away. This year we're only throwing 1 away since we went down to 5. You get 1 mulligan if you don't have a great event at one of them, or you don't show up for one event. But if you don't show up for 2, you're pretty much out of the running for AOI. You won't have a shot at it.
I think we should change that back to 2.
It's 2 is a lot for 5, though. That's the thing. I mean, I know, I hear you, and we've had this discussion, me and the other assistant directors and everything. It's tempting, but it's just too much. I think. I mean, it's almost 50%.
Yeah, no, with 5 you have to do just one.
I think you
I'm
have to
just
do
making
one
a joke
with 5. I
because
know. I get it. Hey, I get it. You
I'm a,
guys, and you
I'm on a
guys have to
struggle bus
travel
right
more
now.
than a lot of others. The people in Tri-Cities have it great. They're closer to everything than any other part of our 3 states. They're the most central to our 3 states, so they have less travel. And you guys have a little more. I have not as much as you, but more than Tri-Cities. So yeah, just depends on where you live. And poor like Gage down in Medford, Ashland areas, way southern Oregon. It's tough. Justin Cron, Rob Hammond, all those guys who live down in the far southern part of the state. I mean, it's remote for them. I mean,
Yeah.
going to more than 1 or 2 events is a challenge for them, and I recognize that. And I apologize for it. We did this last year. We changed to this regional format. And of course, we couldn't predict that this was going to happen, that gas prices were going to shoot up. And, but I feel bad about that. But at the same time, I think it was the logical step forward to this sort of regional format that's a little bit more like some of the formats on the East that we see. Things are closer over there. We have more empty land and we have a lot more geographic area than they do. You can drive from Huntsville, Gunnersville Lake, up to Chickamauga. It's a few hours away. It's really not that bad. And we can't do that. We can't go from one state to another in a couple hours, and we can if you live close to the border, but that's about it.
That's where you tried to compensate, cutting down to 5 events to cut out travel, and
It helps.
you can only do as much as you can do.
Yeah, yeah, and what we're doing is we're encouraging people to fish as many as they want. If you want to go after AOI, like we were just saying, you got to fish most of the events, or as few. If you only want to fish the ones that are close to you, that's great. That's not a problem. And the opens help fill that up. I mean, with the opens, we've got 15 events. That's almost back to where we were before. We were doing 19 events before, plus the opens. So with the opens before, we were doing 21 events, and we're at 15 now. So it's not that different, really. But for tour events, it is. For tour events, you're getting 1 or 2 in your state, and those might not even be close to you necessarily. Like for you guys, especially, Coeur d'Alene's a long way for you guys. And we recognize that. It's tough.
Yeah, but those are destination spots for us. Like, we enjoy driving up there because we really don't have much in southern Idaho. We're tired of CJ and Lowell.
The same places. Yeah, exactly. And that was the idea, is we wanted to encourage people to, just like Mike was saying earlier, we really wanted to encourage people to explore places that they hadn't been, that are cool destination places that they might want to go anyway, and bring the family and make it an event. I think it's cool.
So I feel if the Classic's coming back here next year, it's going to be up north because there's no destination spots down here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Jesse says, would be nice to get an update on how you're liking your G. Loomis rod that you won at 10 Mile, TJ.
That's my drop shot and that rod are my go-to rods.
That's great.
Every time I go fishing now, my Nico is always tied up on that rod.
So you've definitely caught fish on it.
Yeah.
More fish on it. Yeah. If it's your go-to.
Probably one of my most used rods at Clear Lake last week.
That's awesome.
That's great.
That's awesome. That's good to hear. And then we talked about the opens. We've got Newman Lake in Washington, Hagerman in southern Idaho, Crane Prairie Reservoir in Oregon, and Lake Sammamish in Washington. And then we've got the Flying Kayak Open on Davis Lake in central Oregon, close to Crane Prairie, close to Bend, Oregon, which for you guys, if there's anybody in that southern Idaho area that, especially if they're a fly angler and they want to come over and fish Crane Prairie and fish Davis instead of fishing Hagerman, it's not that far from you guys. Bend is not that far.
I might do it. We'll see.
Oh, that's great. That'd be great to see it.
I've wanted to do it. I've had my eye on that one for a while. I love fly fishing, and I definitely would like to do it.
It's so fun. It's
I've
so
been to
fun. When the bite is on there, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
Crystal
That'd be pretty
clear
cool.
water. It's shallow. It's a natural lake. It's got these lava fields around it. In fact, that's how the lake was built. Is a volcano erupted and the lava ran across the creek and built a dam out of lava and created this shallow lake. It's mostly like 6 to 8 feet deep, and you can see the bottom. And you can see all these bass just cruising around when you're going across. You spook them, they see you and they take off running. There's one spot I found that's like 20 feet deep, and that's about it. But I haven't really caught anything there. The fish I catch are usually in shallow water. But 18s, 19s, there's a lot of them. A lot of bigger fish in there, and it's all largemouth. There's largemouth and there's rainbow trout. And that's really all that's in the lake. It's a ton of fun, and I'd have to look and see how far exactly it is from you guys, but I think it's like 5 or 6 hours. It's doable.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I did Crane Prairie one year.
You did? Oh, that's right. I remember that. We hung out in camp.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
I remember that.
It's it'd be fun to go back. The area is beautiful. It's gorgeous area.
Isn't it?
Definitely like to go back there.
Yeah, I love it. So that's what we've got going on next month. Of course, we'll be talking about that more on the Current as we keep going. Well, let's see. Jesse's got something else to say about your rod, or not about your rod. Oh, about Davis. Awesome. Sorry, Jesse. I shouldn't have assumed you would be continuing to talk about the rod. H6 in a float tube with a 7-pound largemouth on Davis. I caught a giant there, 19 and change, at dusk with a popper that I cast into the tules, and deep into the tules cast this popper, and it landed. And then this fish came airborne. It just came up out of the water, completely airborne, and swallowed the popper whole. And I'm like, what? Kagan was there. Yeah, it was crazy. It's a cool lake. It's really a cool lake to fish. And if you've ever watched the video that's on the page, the tournament detail page for, it's crazy. You watch it, and he's catching all 8-pounders and these giants. It used to be even better than it is. They kind of use it as a nursery, and they move fish from there over to Prineville when they get to a certain size. But it's got loads of bass in it. Like, we went one year and we're like, well, let's go pre-fish it, but let's not, be careful not to. It's not a big lake. And we fished it for like an hour, and we're like, oh, we couldn't put a dent in this lake with the number of us they're going to be out here. There's plenty of fish, so. It's a cool event. Let's see. I guess that's about it. Be sure and sign up for Lake Cascade before Friday, or by Friday. By Friday at 11:59 p.m. For our next episode, we will have a recap of Lake Cascade. So perhaps we will see one or both of you back on the Current for our next episode, but perhaps it will be somebody else. Brandon Hua, our reigning AOI champ at the moment, without having seen the numbers, I know he's in charge of it. But Jordan Duggar's right there behind him. They're both signed up. They're both coming, so they're bringing the big game to your hometown, guys. You're gonna have to fight.
Yeah,
back.
we should have not convinced Brandon to come here.
Yeah, I don't know why you did that, TJ.
As soon as I said something, well, you're at the 10 Mile Awards. I said, well, you're looking pretty good for AOI right now. He said, oh, I got to travel. I'm like, yeah, yes, you do. You have to come and do the events.
It'd be fun. I'm excited to get all the boys together again. It's
Yeah.
always a good time.
Yeah.
Well, a quick shout out to our sponsors. Snake River Manufacturing is our title sponsor. Oh, let's see. Jesse's asking about the opens. Any thoughts about making the opens on different days? It would be fun to be able to fish more than one. For the calendar, I'd love to in a way, but for the calendar, it's a nightmare. This is like what we used to do when we had 21 events. Trying to get all those events on different dates where people could travel and do other ones, it's an impossibility. We could maybe have 2 and 2. We could look at it and maybe have 2 on one date and 2 on the next weekend or something. So if somebody wanted to travel, they could do it. Brandon said, "Don't worry. He's not planning to catch fish.
Yeah,
He's just there to enjoy
He's
the
just gonna
scenery."
sit at the house and drink beer all day.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, that sounds like Brandon. No, it does not sound like Brandon. So let's see. Who else? Diamond Parking and Diamond Self Storage, our presenting sponsors, long-time sponsors. Huge thanks to them. Last 3 events, I never even seen the water before. That's not even true. He's just lying.
Yeah.
He's seen them all.
Get out of here, Brandon.
He's seen them all. He's lying. We've got our tour sponsors, Native Watercraft and Bogs. I just got 3 pair of Bogs in a shipment. I should have brought those in with me. Darn it, I didn't. But
While we're on topic, sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
Does Bogs carry like a Croc style shoe?
they do. It's called the Boga. It's called the Boga, and it's better than a Croc. It's got an insole in it, so it's more comfortable.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick me up a pair.
It doesn't have those big round holes. It has like slots, so you don't get big polka dot tan lines on your feet. And the soles are kind of siped, so they're much grippier. If you're wearing around water, Crocs are not great around water. But these are, because of the way the sole is. They're really pretty traction-y, even on a wet concrete kind of deal. Yeah, take a look at them. They're great.
Make sure to pick up a pair because I wore sandals at Clear Lake, and the last 3 days I had to wear my sandals upside down because the tops of my feet were
Sun.
toast. Yeah.
I don't know how you do that. I can't do it. Burning the top of your feet's the worst too, man. You can't put shoes on. It's terrible. But yeah, they're really great. And then they have these. I got some of these shorter rubber shoes, which are great in the kayak too, and they do protect your feet from the sun. But yeah, they're really nice as well. I got some of those, and I got some kind of work shoes, and I already have their like big muck boots, the big high ones that go up to your knees, basically. And those are great when it's cold and nasty out. But yeah, take a look at those. Native Watercraft, again, we will be giving away a Native Watercraft kayak again this year, since they're a sponsor of ours. And that, I think we're doing 3 events for that one, so you get your wish on that. We didn't do it for AOI, but we are doing it for Native. If you complete 3 events, you're in the running. And if you complete 4, you get an extra, and 5, you get an extra entry. Our media sponsor is Northwest Tackle, who you guys may know, Joe Bockenstead. And our platinum sponsors are NRS and G. Loomis. Jesse Brummett, who's been chatting in here with us, he helped us get lined up with G. Loomis. He works with them. So thank you very much, Jesse, and thanks, G. Loomis. And, of course, thanks our NRS, one of our oldest sponsors we've had for many years now. Speaking of sponsors, who would you guys like to thank?
Yeah.
Personally or sponsors?
I guess we're speaking for the same here.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're coming through the Southern Oregon, you're crossing that border, heading up to Cascade, stop in Northwest Tackle.
Stop in Caldwell.
Talk to Joe, chat his ear off, and then he'll be up there as well. We're gonna stop in there this week and figure out what we want to do.
I talked to him last week, I guess, is when I talked to him, or last weekend. And yeah, he's planning to send some kayaks up and put them on display. He's got natives and bona fides and new canoe in the shop there. So if you want to look at some kayaks, you can. But you certainly can stock up on tackle. He's got just about everything that you might want on the floor.
Yeah, he's pretty loaded up in there. And so definitely like all your minnows, drop shot stuff, basically anything you need, definitely swing by.
Yeah.
He's also fun to talk to. Great. He's a super nice guy.
Yeah. Brandon said he's planning on stopping in and at Snake River. I'm going to talk to Steve initially. Steve's got some stuff going on that might be tough for him to get away. He was hoping to come up and fish Cascade. And I'll talk to him. We'll see if we can get something going for Snake River. It'd be nice, certainly, to show off some of his trailers up there. Quite a few of our anglers, you included, have them. And I have my trailer's not really one of his, but he made it one of his. So it's pretty cool as well. And I'll have mine up there.
Yeah, I'm not sponsored by him or anything, but like I tell everybody, they're the best trailers. You can't. I mean, he's also the best dude. I absolutely love him, but the trailers are. I drive fast, like going down to Clear Lake and stuff. Like I'll admit it, like I go pretty quick.
And you can do it in that.
Like
yeah.
TJ's been behind me a few times. I lose him fast, but
I don't.
It's so like I put that thing through the paces. Like I brought it through this last spring. I brought it to a lake and like I drove it down. Like the lake was super low, and so I had to drive it down like this rocky stuff, and like it was gnarly. I had to take it off my truck and like move it to like be able to back up to it. Like it was a real situation. Like halfway down,
I've had to do that. Yeah.
Halfway down the hill, I was starting to think like maybe this isn't a very good idea. But like it's like I've already gone too far, and the trailer is invincible, and I am like brutally hard on stuff, and it's held up so well, and so yeah, he makes the best trailers by far.
They're fantastic. They really are, and it's really because of the engineering. It's because of Steve and what he's able to do. On the engineering side, he approaches it from an engineering side, and I would say most of the trailers out there that aren't a big giant commercial brand, they are fabricators. They're welders. They're people who know welding, and that's how they got into it, and they fabricated trailers out of that. But very few of these companies that I know of have the engineering background that Steve does and applies to all of his trailers, where, in my opinion, they're not only the best trailers on the market, they're the safest trailers on the market. And for me, that's way more important. They're not going to fly apart and have parts come off of them while you're driving too fast down the highway, Michael Mumford.
Yeah. That's how I ended up in one of the trailers, and so it's kind of.
Oh, really? Like, your old one fell apart?
My old one fell apart, so I was like,
wow.
My tire blew off. So I had a jet ski trailer. Pretty sure you're not supposed to go over 65 miles an hour with it, and I had been bringing it to Clear Lake and stuff, and like doing long road trips with it. Thankfully, I was basically home, and the whole axle blew up, and the tire came off.
Oh, wow.
And so I called him up and I was like, I need a trailer like tomorrow. And so he worked his butt off to get me that trailer ready for the, I think I had one tournament where I had to launch out of the bed of my truck. But the swinging arm is killer for the garage. Like,
I couldn't have done it without that.
Yeah. And then I think for him, like you talk to him and like prepare yourself, because it's going to be an hour and 20-minute conversation about, all the different parts, but it's cool because he's obsessed with it. And he's a real detail oriented guy. And his trailers, like every single aspect of the trailer he's thought about, and I can appreciate that. And it's like, I mean, you can't ask for a better trailer, and just how he's designed every little thing. And he keeps adding stuff to him too, which is kind of a problem as far as like a buyer goes, because you just want to keep buying stuff. But
yeah,
it's all.
Anybody else you want to thank, Michael?
It's always my wife. Definitely, she's my biggest supporter, and
great.
She's the best. She lets me do these and just gives me lots of support. She texts me throughout the day, either telling me I'm doing a good job or telling me, let's catch some fish. Like you suck. It's just sometimes
that's good. Yeah, you need that sometimes.
Get
out of your head. Yeah.
What's that,
At Clear
TJ?
Lake, she texted me. She's like, "You're doing a good job catching those 15s on day one."
Yeah, yeah, but yeah. She'll text me. She'll I'll have like a 14 or 15. She's like, I don't know what those are doing there. You better catch a big one.
Oh, it's so cute.
Yeah, exactly. Adorable. That's so cute. All these other guys have 18s and 19s. What are you doing? I'm like, all right.
That's great.
Yeah.
And
I
then,
also want to
how
give
about
a
you,
quick-
TJ?
Yeah, quick shout out to our company, Your Stay, the property management company. We had a house up in Cascade that was available, so we blocked it off, and now we got a house to stay at for the tournament.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Nice.
Agreed. We wouldn't have. We would have been kind of screwed if we didn't have that. So thanks, TJ, and thanks to that company. That was nice.
That's great. Yeah, we got one up in the Donnelly area. Yeah. But it looks cool. Looks like a nice house. There's about 5 or 6 of us that are going to stay there. Be cool.
Thanks.
Well, I think that's about all I've got. And I'll see you at Cascade. I don't know if I'll see you on the Current again after Cascade, but I wish you luck on that. Hope
You as
hope
well.
you both do well.
Yeah, you too.
Glad you get on the water.
Yeah, I'm going to try and get out on the water at least for a little bit. I'll be probably maybe the last one on the water and the first one off the water, but at least I'll get my feet wet and get some fish on the board. Hopefully, we'll see. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to fishing new water, just like we were saying. Exploring, trying something different, trying something new. Well, cool. So stay tuned. Our date. Let me look at the date real quick of the next Current. It'll be the Tuesday after the event, so that's the the 30th. Yeah, 6:30 is when we will be back online. Thanks for checking this out, and stay tuned for more excitement. And be safe on the water. You guys and everybody else. Thanks.
See you next week.